Hello, this is Krieg Gamer, and this is an overview for the Raven Navy issue and the updates to the cruise missiles in the latest expansion to EVE Online that is known as Odyssey. Now, to put it straight off the bat, this is now, for what it's worth, apart from the T2 equivalent, which is the Golem, this ship I'd say is probably the king of PvE, especially for high-sec mission runners. It was always good, but this latest expansion has really buffed it to the point where I'd say it's well worth going for. It's got the 8 launcher slots, and that makes a significant amount of difference. It also has an extra mid slot. It may have reduced shield, but because of that extra mid slot, it makes up for it with resists. This ship has never really been made for buffering when it comes to PvE. When it comes to PvP, Raven Navy issues could be fantastic, but I wouldn't go out my way to use one. I'd probably make up a Torp Raven with a decent buffer. But that's me personally. I've always used the Raven as a station game kind of ship, one to destroy, say the weak stuff, say Drakes, stuff like that. But now with the buffs to cruise missiles, it could efficiently be a sniper. But if you had that in a small fleet for maybe roams or holding gates with some interceptors and some interdictors, yeah, it could be quite the beast. And it's definitely one not to be underestimated, especially not now. Okay, with that being said, let's go into the details. Firstly, it has a buff of 1775 extra power grid, which is there in my eyes because of the extra launcher. It also has a small boost to the CPU, which is plus 45, and quite a large buff to the capacitor, which is plus 587.5, and with the recharge it's got minus 4.875 seconds recharge, which is never a bad thing. The mobility has been buffed. It's got an extra 29% to max velocity, which makes a big difference, especially when you're doing missions. With the afterburner, this thing is going to be going pretty quick for, well, for a battleship at least. The drone bandwidth and the drone bay stays the same, which makes sense because if it was going to get any more, it would be a bit OP. The other two noticeable changes are plus 5 change to the gravimetric sensor strength, which is good because it's going to be less susceptible to E-War, and the signature radius has been lowered by 50. Now let's have a look at the cruise missiles. A 5% rate of fire increase for cruise missile launchers. There has been a 200 power grid need for the cruise missile launchers. The base flight time for cruise missiles has gone down from 20 seconds to 14 seconds, so that's quite big. That's 6 seconds, but you've got to bear in mind the velocity has also gone up from 3,750 to 4,700. There's also been a 25% increase for base damage with cruise missiles, which makes a lot of sense because they have been underpowered for a long time. There's also been a 10% increase to the explosion radius for cruise missiles, so with the Raven Navy issue, that's not really that much of a problem, but using it as standard, yeah, that could be a bit of an issue for hitting smaller ships. Thank you very much for watching this video. This has been a very brief overview of the Raven Navy issue and the cruise missiles updates. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be putting out some more EVE videos very soon. Goodbye.